Adam was tired of repeating the same promises. Every Sunday night, he told himself the same things. This week, I'll wake up earlier. This week, I'll exercise. This week, I'll finally stay consistent. And every Monday morning, it all felt possible. He cleaned his desk, he made a plan, he even felt excited about the new version of his life. But by Tuesday, something strange started happening. The habits he wanted most suddenly felt harder than they should. Going for a short walk felt annoying. Opening the study file felt heavy. Sleeping on time somehow felt less attractive than scrolling on his phone. Adam did not understand it. He wanted the change, so why did his own brain seem to fight it? Why does your mind agree with the goal, but resist the habits that would actually get you there? The answer begins with something simple. Your brain cares less about your future plans than it cares about what feels familiar right now. Adam thought his brain should support change because the change was good for him, but the brain does not automatically respond to good. It responds strongly to what is familiar, predictable, and efficient. And Adam's old habits were all three. His usual routine may not have been helping him grow, but it was known, it was practiced, it was easy. His brain had already built a comfortable path for it. Wake up, check phone, delay the task, tell yourself you will start later, repeat. That path was not there because Adam was lazy. It was there because repeated behavior becomes easier for the brain to run. That is what habits are. They are shortcuts. The more often you repeat something, the less effort your brain needs to do it again. That sounds useful, and it is. But it creates a problem when you try to change. Because the moment Adam introduced a new habit, his brain had to stop using the old shortcut. Now it had to pay attention. Now it had to do something less automatic. Now it had to spend more energy. And the brain does not love that. This is where Adam got confused. He thought resistance meant something was wrong. If studying felt hard, maybe he was not disciplined enough. If exercise felt uncomfortable, maybe he was just not that kind of person. If he wanted to change but kept avoiding the habit, maybe deep down he did not want it badly enough. But that was not necessarily true. Sometimes resistance is not proof that the habit is wrong. It is proof that the habit is new. And new things always ask more from the brain at the beginning. But there was another reason Adam kept slipping back. His old habits were connected to his environment. His phone was next to his bed. His chair was in the same corner where he usually wasted time. His room still whispered the same routine he had repeated for months. So even when Adam made a new plan, his surroundings kept inviting the old behavior back. And old habits do not disappear just because you made a better decision yesterday. They stay available, waiting, quietly saying, "We already know how to do this." That is why Adam could genuinely want a better life and still feel pulled toward the same old patterns. One part of him wanted growth. Another part of him wanted ease. One part of him wanted results. Another part of him wanted familiarity. And if you do not understand that conflict, it feels personal. It feels like self-sabotage. But often, it is just your brain trying to stay efficient. Still, Adam wondered about something else. If the brain loves efficiency so much, then why does it not just help build the better habit faster? Why fight the very thing that could improve life? Because your brain is not designed to chase your ideal future every moment. It is designed to reduce uncertainty and save effort when it can. And change creates both uncertainty and effort. A new habit sounds small when you describe it. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Read 10 pages. Work out for 20 minutes. But to the brain, a new habit can feel like a disruption. It interrupts a pattern. It removes the comfort of the known. It asks for more attention than the old behavior needed. And if the reward is far away, the brain becomes even less interested. That was Adam's problem too. The reward for scrolling was immediate. Comfort now. Entertainment now. Escape now. But the reward for the new habits was delayed. Better focus later. Better health later. A better life later. And the brain usually feels the now much more strongly than the later. So Adam was not only fighting old habit loops, he was also fighting the brain's tendency to prefer immediate relief over delayed progress. And this is where most people make the same mistake Adam made. They keep asking, how do I force myself to be more motivated? But motivation was not the real problem. Adam had motivation. That is why he kept making plans. The real problem was that he expected motivation to carry him across resistance, friction, and old automatic patterns. It rarely does that for long. So Adam tried something different. Instead of demanding a total life change, he made the new habits easier to start. Not impressive, just easier. He stopped saying, I need to become disciplined, and started saying, I need to make the first step smaller. Instead of planning a 1-hour workout, he started with 5 minutes. Instead of telling himself to study all evening, he opened the file and worked for 10 minutes. Instead of trying to sleep perfectly every night, he focused first on putting his phone away a little earlier. This mattered because the brain fights big change more than small change. A huge shift feels threatening. A tiny shift feels manageable. Adam also changed the environment that kept feeding the old habits. He moved the phone away from the bed. He left his study materials open and visible. He made the good habit easier to reach and the bad habit slightly harder to repeat. That way, he was not relying only on willpower. He was changing the path. And slowly, something interesting happened. The new habits still did not feel natural at first, but they felt less heavy, then less strange, then less forced. Because repetition was doing its work again. The same brain that once resisted the habit was now learning it. The same mind that preferred the old shortcut was starting to build a new one. That is what Adam had missed before. Your brain may resist change at the beginning, but it also adapts to repetition. It fights what is unfamiliar, then later, it protects what becomes familiar. That means the goal is not to wait until the habit feels easy before you continue. The goal is to continue long enough for the habit to become easier. One evening, Adam noticed something small. He sat down to study without the usual long internal argument. Not because he had become a different person overnight, but because the habit was no longer completely new. It had started becoming known territory. That gave him a new way to think about resistance. Resistance did not always mean, stop. Sometimes it simply meant, you are at the part where this is still unfamiliar. And unfamiliar does not stay unfamiliar forever. So the next time Adam felt that old friction, he stopped treating it like a sign of failure. He treated it like a normal stage of change. That made all the difference. Because when you think resistance means you are broken, you quit. But when you understand resistance as part of building a new pattern, you stay long enough for the pattern to change. Your brain wants change when it imagines the reward, but it fights new habits when they feel uncertain, effortful, and unfamiliar. That is the conflict. And the way through it is not to shame yourself. It is to make the habit smaller, clearer, and easier to repeat until your brain stops treating it like an interruption and starts treating it like the new normal. Adam did not become consistent because he suddenly felt inspired every day. He became more consistent because he stopped expecting the beginning to feel natural. He made the change small enough to survive the resistance. And eventually, the habits that once felt hard started feeling normal. If your brain also avoids the things you actually want, watch why your brain avoids the things you actually want next. Subscribe to Behind the Mind for more hidden reasons behind human behavior.